I'm Andrew Urban from My Urban Home team in Keller Williams Realty, and we're in the kitchen because typically we would be in a kitchen when I'm helping a buyer write an offer for their next dream house. And this is a tricky thing at the moment in this current seller's market because the seller's market is so competitive and is so difficult for buyers to be able to win that we need to pull out all the stops that will help us be the winners. Part of that is we want to talk about removing contingencies. Every offer we write has certain contingencies. An inspection contingency, an appraisal contingency, a loan contingency. All these things have to be satisfied before we can remove the contingencies and then work towards having a successful close of escrow. So the most crucial contingency is the inspection contingency. If a listing agent provides us with inspections, then we don't really need other inspections because we already have what we should be able to see. If the listing agent doesn't provide inspections, then we have to run our own inspections, and we have to think about what's the condition of the house, what's the age of the house, do we feel comfortable with how it's being taken care of, and is there something that we can't see that we really want to see? So the shorter we can keep our inspection contingency, the better it is. Ideally, in this current seller's market, we don't want to have any inspection contingencies. That'll make our offer stronger. There will be plenty of people who actually remove inspection contingencies, but it's a risky thing that we should talk about and evaluate. The second important contingency is the appraisal contingency. And obviously, if you're paying cash, you don't need an appraisal. But most people are using a loan to purchase a property these days. And so it's important the lender will want to have an appraisal. We can remove the appraisal contingency if we find that we have very good ideas about the value of the house we're looking at. What are the comparables? Do we have sold homes that bracket the value on the above and below? And do we just have a really good idea about what we think the property will sell for, what the property would appraise for? And so when you're dealing with a numbers nerd, that's going to be a very helpful thing because I will help you figure out what do we think it would appraise for. And then we can feel confident if we have enough cash, reserves, then we would think about removing the appraisal contingency, and that would also very much help us to be successful. The third contingency is the loan contingency. Again, if you're paying cash, there's no contingency, so no worries. But in order to successfully remove a loan contingency, your lender will want to do something better than pre-qualify you or pre-approve you. You will want to be fully underwritten. And that's how you can confidently remove a loan contingency and not worry about, okay, what's going to happen next? When you provide all your documents, all your lending documents, all your credit documents, your tax returns to your lender, and they can fully underwrite you, then you can be sure that that's going to be a loan contingency that you can remove. Again, it depends on the interplay between you and your lender, and we would heavily lean on the lender to make sure that they are comfortable with your removing a loan contingency. Now, when you're submitting an offer, you will always want to make sure that you remove the most contingencies possible to make your offer the strongest in this current seller's market. Now, removing contingencies is going to be very helpful to you to be able to win as a buyer, especially in this current market. And I think that's one of the things that we have to consider carefully. A lot of other buyers will take some risks and remove contingencies that maybe they shouldn't. Now, whether you want to be whether you want to be among them, that's totally up to you. That's something that you can decide for yourself. And I'll give you advice, but I'll never do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. So, if you want to learn more about removing contingencies and winning as a buyer, please contact me. I'm Andrew Urban. I'm a numbers nerd. I know all about numbers and how to deal with those contingencies and those issues. Call me. I can help.